Analysis of the Fed decision from Larry Kudlow of Fox Business. Larry, good evening. Your thoughts on this move and what it means, big picture?
Well, thanks for having me. I don't understand it. I didn't understand the jumbo 50 basis point rate cut in September. Right after that, for the next month or so, interest rates in the bond market shot up 65, 75 basis points. And that includes mortgage rate, which is now almost up 1 full percentage point since that jumbo rate cut. And it's over 7% again. I mean, this one follows on that one. I don't understand this one. It is true that the year-to-year change of inflation has come down, although it is still above the Fed's 2% target. I mean, the CPI over the past 12 months is 2.4. The target is 2.0. If you take out food and energy, the so-called core rate, it's 3.3%. That's well above 2%. So, it's like declaring victory a little too soon. So they're pushing more money into the system, and the bond market saying, don't do it. They're called bond market vigilantes. That was a term coined many, many years ago by my pal Ed Yardeni. I mean, it's the Fed is trying to force feed lower interest rates for whatever their reason, and it's backfired. The market has rebelled against it. And, well, I'll stop there. That's my first
Well, let me
point.
just ask you this. I mean, it obviously comes after an election, a day after an election. And people look at it and say, is this the Fed chair trying to keep his job? Former President Trump is, talked about whether a president should be able to talk about interest rates cuts and what that means back in October. And then the Fed chair responded. Take a listen.
I think I have the right to say I think you should go up or down a little bit. I don't think I should be allowed to order it, but I think I have the right to put in comments as to whether or not interest rates should go up or down.
In the near term, the election will have no effects on our policy decisions.
So for the skeptics, what do you say?
Well, look, it's an odd story because the jumbo rate cut at 50 basis points occurred just weeks before the election. So a lot of people wanted to know, you're trying to juice the economy to help the incumbent, in this case, Kamala Harris. All right, those are the skeptics. I would just, look, this business about Mr. Trump asking him to step down. He never asked him to step down, as far as I know. I mean, if he has, I don't know about it. Or
you're right.
None of the friends of mine. I mean, he hasn't said. And on the campaign trail, all he said is, he has the right to weigh in. I mean, he's a taxpayer, Brett. He can weigh in on a lot of things, including interest rates. But he's not mandating or dictating. He said that very clearly. But can I just go back for 1 second? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
real quick.
bear in mind, over the past 4 years, the inflation rate has gone up nearly 21%. Okay? Gasoline has gone up about 40%. Eggs have gone up about 40%. You go down the list. Would you tell me, if you're a middle-income person or a lower-income person, you're working, when do you get relief from all these high prices? When do prices come down? I mean, Trump has fiscal policy and energy policy that could bring prices down, but the Federal Reserve pouring money in by lowering these rates rather precipitously, I don't see that as helpful. I mean, wealthy people can get around it. It's not a problem. Middle-income people, people that work with their hands, what's the phrase? If you have calluses on your hands, those folks, hard hats, blue-collar workers, when do they get lower prices? Does the Federal Reserve ever think about that? That's one of my beefs about monetary policy. They're rushing in, pouring money in again, lowering rates precipitously. That could drive the inflation rate higher in the next 6 to 12 months. What about those working folks who are stuck with a huge increase in prices, which, as you know, was a big factor in the election that Trump just won in a landslide?
Probably the biggest factor. Larry, we appreciate it. We're going to see where this goes. Thank you.